What's up, everybody? Welcome to another Kinstretch class brought to you by Stretch Effect. My name is Coach Luke, and I'll be taking you through today's 30-minute shoulder external rotation and scap focused Kinstretch class. To look at good, clean, healthy shoulder function, we always look at internal and external rotation first. This being an external rotation focused Kinstretch class, I wanted to make sure that we had the external rotation plus the scapular motion kind of coupled together as we work through today's class. Although we do focus on them with our cars and our assessments and just basic function on their own, right? You want good shoulder independence or good joint independence before you have what's called interdependence, right? So you want them to function well on their own, so you know that they'll then function well together, right? So today's class, we're kind of coupling the two. We'll focus on them individually, and then we will bring them together and work on them simultaneously with exercises like swimmers. So we'll go into what's called our scapular cars first. So we'll go, instead of going straight out in front today, we're going to go straight down from the side. So I'm going to be up and tall kneeling, have my hands right at my sides. If you have a seam down the side of your shorts, then middle finger just lines up with that seam. I'm trying to keep my elbows locked out, hands with a subtle tension into the side of my body. From there, I will go into elevation. So I'm going to shrug up into my ears. Head stay still, glutes stay tight. Press forward, down, elbows stay locked out, hands at my sides, retract, shrug up, and over. Down, pull back, squeeze, shrug up, over the top, one more time, coming forward, coming down, retracting, see how my elbows are staying locked out, hands stay at my sides, retract, all the way to the top, and reverse. Retract, hold down, come forward, shrug up, retract, hold down, one more time here, around the bottom, press forward, come over the top, and back down. From there, I'm going to go into what's called scap retraction and protraction from quadruped position. So I'm going to have my hands together, they're just under my shoulders, knees right under my hips, and I'll think cores engaged. All I'm going to do is the retraction, protraction, which will be squeeze my shoulder blades together, press my shoulder blades away. Make sure you keep a good core tension here so we're not arching too much. You'll have a little bit, a little natural curve, but that's okay. We try to make sure we're not sacrificing retraction for lumbar extension, which is very common. So I think core's engaged, get a good subtle brace, spread the floor with the hands, squeeze the shoulder blades together, press away from the floor. Squeeze the shoulder blades together, press away from the floor, one more time, squeeze, and press. And now let's go right into our scapular cars from the closed chain or a quadruped position. So I'm just going from here, retract just like we just did, shrug, press, pull down, shrug, press, pull down, squeeze together, last one, shrug, press, pull down. I'm going to shrug now while I'm pressing away. Retract as I pull down, over the top, 2 more reps there, the hands are even, pull down, last one, over the top, make a nice, big, clean, slow circle, and finish that off, good. From there, I will just be in a tall kneeling shoulder car, so 2 reps each side, left hand will come around rib cage, right hand externally rotates, and I'm just gonna come across the body, scrape the eyebrow with the bicep. From here, I will rotate as much as I can. See how my torso stays still. I'm trying to max out rotation of that shoulder. And reverse, thumb goes high, over the top, around, back to my start position as I cross that body, and come down. Got one more. Externally rotate here, right? That's supposed to be today's class. Cross the body, cross the eyebrow, scrape the ear. Now I'm here in full flexion. Now I'm going to internally rotate over the top, down, through, and reverse one more time. Extend, externally rotate as I come over, rest that body still, glutes are tight, core is engaged. And come down and switch. Right hand on the rib cage, remind me just to stay nice and tight, make sure I don't arch as I try to get more range of motion. So I'm going to take an externally rotated position here with the arm, cross the body. As I cross the body, scrape the eyebrow with the bicep, all the way up to the full flexion. Once I can't get any more up top, I then rotate, reach back, down on my start, side of my hand, or back of my hands on the side of my body, reverse, over the top, down, and through. One more time, touch the body, all the way over. The rest of that body stays nice and still. Backside of my hand touches my side, and reverse one more time. Reach, rotate over, core stays tight, cross that body, down to my start, and relax. Very good. So from there, I'm going to come to my prone position. We're going to go right into what's called external rotation, pails and rails. So we'll do just one arm together for our pails and rails. Or I'm sorry, one arm alone for our pails and rails, and then we'll go both arms together for some lift offs. Okay? So what we'll do, we'll be in my setup position here. So I'll have one block just off to the side. I'll have one block directly under this fist here. So I'll have this elbow at 90 degrees, just like this. Body's nice and tight. You want to do a couple practice reps and see where you're at, right? So if you can rotate, so from here, body's tight, and I can get my hand at a good height off the floor. Go right to a block, set yourself there. If you get really high off the ground, you got good external rotation. You can set it even higher up on this kind of block configuration here. I don't think many people will be this high. That's an extreme amount of external rotation. But this would be good if this one is too easy. If it's hard and you barely get your shoulder off the floor or your fist off the floor, that's okay. Just do it from the floor. So go press down into the floor for your pails, and then the rails contraction will be trying to lift off. Because this is not going to be in a stretch position, we're not going to do the 2-minute passive stretch. We're just going to go immediately into our pails and rails. So these would technically be more like isometrics. Okay, so I'm going to be pressing down for 10, building up for 10, max effort crush down for 10, and then rails, I'm trying to pull off, like keep my elbow on the floor, trying to pull off of that block for 15 seconds. We get 2 sets, and also sets. Okay, so I'm here, forehead on the forearm, tuck my tailbone, core stays engaged, reach my elbows about 90 degrees out to the side of the body. From there, get a good brace, and slowly start driving down into that block. 1, 2, 20%, 3, 30%, 4, 40%, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 90%, and 100% effort press down. Rest of the body stays tight. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now rails contraction. Pull off, pull off, pull off as far as you can. Backside of that shoulder lighten up. The rest of that body staying nice and still. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and back down. Good, relax, recovery. Trying to be able to get high off that block. Second rep. You can go up into a higher block position. It's going to make it more challenging. You want to be able to just barely clear that block. So if you can get really high off that block, you can definitely go up to a higher position. If you get to here, you can't pull off the block, that's okay. It's all about getting that contraction from here as we try to work more of that external rotation. Okay? So just breathe, collect yourself, collect your breathing, work on that belly breathing. This is a good chance to practice belly breathing as we're laying down on the floor. That's going to be a good chance to give you some feedback. So as you inhale, stomach expands into the floor, but not just into the floor, but also out to the sides and your lower back. And then as you exhale, you release that tension and it collapses. Okay. Let's go one more rep here. So make sure your elbows at 90. Good position there. Take a breath in. Squeeze your legs together, brace that core, and then start driving down again. So 1, 10%, 2, 20%, 3, 30%, 4, 40%, 5, 50%. Make sure your body tension matches the contraction, pressing down. 7, 8, 9, and 100% effort. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rails. Try to pull off that block. Good, keep going, keep contracting backside of that shoulder, lighten up here, keep going, keep pushing. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Woo, shake it out. We're gonna switch sides. Very nice. It's all about pushing what you have, right? So if you saw what I was doing there, as I got just barely to the end, I was able to get that arm off. That's because the whole time you're trying to fight for more. The more time you spend in that contraction, the better ownership your body's gonna have over it, right? So immediately I wasn't able to get it off, and as we were going for longer, I was able to get it a little bit higher. So keep fighting through the whole set. The more you do these, the more practice, the more repetition you get, the better they're gonna feel. The more control, the more ownership you're gonna have over it. Okay, so let's go. Just like I did the other side, I'm gonna start here, and then my second set, I'm gonna go up into the higher block position. But again, it's all about what you have and what you have available, not only equipment-wise, but also with your body, right? So if you don't have a block, you can use books, you can use shoes, you can use anything to kind of, something to press hard into. If you have like a kettlebell, you can put a kettlebell on the side, put your hand on the top there. It's up to you, okay? Whatever you got, whatever you're working with. And then as you go, make sure you're pushing yourself, right? So make sure nothing else is moving. So make sure I'm not doing this, but just working from that shoulder, trying to get as much rotation as possible, okay? Here, body's tight, ribs are down, core is tight, breath in, brace, and start pressing down. 10, 9, 8, build that up, 7, 6, 5, you're 50%, 4, 3, 2, 1, and max effort, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rails, try to pull off, rest of the body stay still, core disengage, ribs stay down, let the elbow into the floor, feel that back side of that shoulder lighten up, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax, come back down, let yourself, let your breathing. If you need to elevate or drop down your obstacle, you can do that as well. One thing I want to make sure we're doing here as we pull off, as I come up here, I want to make sure I'm pulling up just from the shoulder and not from the wrist, right? Your body's going to want to fake the range of motion by giving you more extension. So as if I was here, right, it'd be like, oh, I can get it off with the wrist extension. But I want to try to get it just by rotating at that shoulder, okay? So monitor that wrist position. If you want to go open palm, you can do that as well. But again, make sure we're not just extending the wrist. Make sure everything is in line, okay? One more time. Big breath in. Brace that core. And slowly start driving down, building that contraction up 1 second at a time. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 50%, 4, 3, 2, 1, max effort, hold 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and rails, pull off, make sure that body stays still, don't lose position here, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and relax. Whew. Nice job. So you should feel on the back side of that shoulder there, right? That should definitely lighten up as you work to get more external rotation. So from there, we're going to go right into what's called pass frame liftoff. So we're going to go, just like we said, we're going to go both arms together at the same time. So you may notice one shoulder moves a little bit better than the other. That's totally okay. It's all about trying to improve them, not only on their own, but also together, right? So we're going to work on these simultaneously. So just like we did, if you want to go from the floor, just face down from the floor, you can just lift us there. So kind of you're able to get a good amount of lift off. You can go from the block on its side, or you can go from the block kind of on its more narrow edge. Up to you, okay? We're going to go 10 lift offs for 2 sets here with a little bit of capsule carbs in between. Okay, so I'm going to be in this position here. I'll have my blocks to my sides, just like this. I'm going to go from the flatter side position here. I'm going to have my elbows 90 degrees, straight up inside of my body, both fists on top of both blocks, right? So if you don't have blocks, like I said, use books, use something, just make sure you have a good, even distribution that you can lift off from. I'm going to be in this position, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to say lift. We're going to go simultaneously lift, back down. We go 10 reps, and we'll take a little break with some capsule cars, come back to a second set. Okay, so make sure elbows are down, body's tight, fists are on the floor, or sorry, fists are on the blocks, forehead's down, tuck that tailbone, make elbows go to the floor, and lift, down, 1, lift, down, 2, lift, down, 3, lift, down, 4. Make sure you feel this all on the back side of your shoulders here. Make sure you're not tugging back at the shoulder blade. Make sure you're not getting lumbar extensions. So you squeeze those glutes, keep everything nice, stiff, and still. Here we got 4, 6 more to go. Tuck, lift, down, 5, lift, down, 6, lift, down, 7, lift, down, 8, last 2, lift, down, 9, last 1, lift, down, and 10. Ooh, very good. So let's go into our collapsed kneeling. So this would be tall kneeling. You can do this from tall kneeling, of course, as well. We're going to do collapsed kneeling here. Same position I was just in, right? So I'm this 90-degree elbow bend position. Elbows are straight out from the sides of my shoulders. Closed fist position here. Ribs are down, core engaged. I'm just going to go 5 reps, internal, external rotation. Really focusing on the external rotation, really focusing on that feeling that we just worked on there, right? So the internal, of course, it will be here, which is definitely good to train and work on as well. But really focus today on that external rotation, really feeling that back side of that shoulder lighten up. Everything that we've been focusing on with our isometrics and our lift offs. Okay, so let's go ribs down, elbows out to the sides, make fists, rotate down, rotate back. 1. Squeeze back, squeeze that wall behind. Rotate down, rotate back, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. 2. Every time we're doing our pills or our capsule cars, push into that boundary, push into that bottom of the range of motion where you feel like it gets more challenging, where it gets sticky. That's definitely how we improve. That's how we get more ownership, more control over those further end ranges, right? So from here, go down, make sure I don't shrug forward, right? This is the case where we want to have individual control or isolation over the joints, right? I want the shoulders to function independently of my shoulder blade. We will incorporate them together a little bit later in today's class. Okay, last one, internal squeeze. Last one, external rotation. Squeeze back, let's hold 5. Keep squeezing 4, 3, keep squeezing 2, 1, and relax. Don't shake that out, we may need it. We got 1 more set of our passive range liftoffs. So it's the same thing we were just doing. We're gonna be nice and smoked after this workout today. We're gonna 10 reps of the liftoffs, and just like we did with those holds, or the capsule cars, we're gonna hold the last rep for 5 seconds, and then we will come back into 1 more round of our capsule cars there. Okay, so let's get back to our prone position. Have my blocks straight out from my sides here, so I'm gonna make sure good position. Elbows are about 90 degrees. If you need to just kind of use the mirror, use something to kind of make sure you're at 90. If you're a little above, you're a little below, that's totally okay. So just different zones, different places you can train. Right, so I'm gonna have my feet together, tailbone tucked, core engaged, head will be down. Make sure my fists are on those blocks. 10 lift offs, just really focusing all my tension on the back sides of those shoulders here. Here we go. Tucked, tight, and lift. 1, lift, 2, lift, 3, lift, 4, lift, 5, lift, 6, lift, 7, 3 more, lift, 8, lift, 9, last one, we're gonna lift and hold 5 seconds here, lift, 5, keep driving, 4, 3, 2, 1, and back down. Awesome, so 1 more set of our capsule cars. Get into some scapular work. Okay, so from here, good position, ribs down, elbows 90 degrees, straight up inside of my shoulders. Make fists. If you want to go open palm, you can. If you want to hold tennis balls, you definitely can do that as well. We go from here, internal rotation, external rotation. Squeeze that back. Good. Internal rotation, external rotation, that's 2. We got 3 more. Internal, external, internal, squeeze at the bottom, external rotation, squeeze the top 4. We got last one here, down, squeeze it, squeeze it, squeeze it, rotate out of it, squeeze back, and down. Ooh, very good. From there, let's get right back to our prone position. We're going to work on some shoulder blade swimmers, they're called, but we're going to break the swimmers down a little bit to work on more specific scapular motion and kind of shoulder motion with some extra rotation as well. So we're going to start in the prone position, and then instead of going straight into our swimmers, we're going to break them down a little bit, just going from face down. So we can do this, before we start, we can do this from prone, but if this is too challenging for you, you can always come back up to the collapse kneeling or the tall kneeling position, or you can even sit on the block, kind of crisscross, as these will get spicy, as we like to say, as they will start to burn. And we're going to break these down and go really nice and slow. So the prone position is going to be quite challenging, so if that's not something that works for you, you can definitely change positions so you can make sure you get the most out of your shoulder blade motion, okay? So from here, move my blocks out of the way. I will go into a prone position, just like the normal swimmers. I'm going to have my hands behind my head. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to break them down. So I'm going to go 5 reps from here up to my Y, and then just back to the head. Elbows stay high and down. So what I want to focus on is continuing the whole time to drive my elbows back towards the ceiling or back towards the wall if I'm up in this position. Hands coming here as I get to the Y. Ribs stay down, core stays engaged. Get to that Y, but keep pressing back. And then as I come down, as I bring my hands together behind my head, my elbows are continuing to drive back behind the body. That's that shoulder blade function that we're really going for here. Really just trying to hammer not only motion here, but also motion here and here. Always driving back, shoulder blade squeeze together. Okay, we're going to go 5 reps. Face down, hands behind my head. You can tuck the toes or untuck, it's up to you. Ribs are down, squeeze the glutes, elbows up, hands are up. Y position nice and slow. And then back down, hands behind the head. Squeeze the shoulder blades together, don't touch down. We got 4 more. Elbows up. Y. Hands behind the head, without touching down. Elbows still stay high. We got 3 more. Y. Behind the head. 2 more. Y. Behind the head. Last one. It's not Y. Squeeze towards the ceiling the whole time. Elbows squeeze back. And touch down. Very good. That was tough. Okay, so from here, that was more shoulder blade function, kind of working with the shoulders. Now we're going to work some external rotation and scapular retraction. So that was more scapular retraction. Now we're going to go just like we did with the lift-offs. We're going to be down here. So I'm in this position here. I'm going to externally rotate and retract. Externally rotate, come back down, okay? So it's a little bit of a break, still get shoulder function, a little bit of a break before we go into our next part of the swimmers here, okay? So I'm in this position. If you want to go from the block, you certainly can. You want to lift off the block just like we did with our lift-offs. Scoot up a little bit. We got our lift-offs and our tails and rails. Definitely go from the block like I will do here as well. So elbow at 90, tuck the tailbone. I'm going to lift off, retract, drive my shoulder blade to the ceiling, come back down, elbow touch, down. We got 5 reps. Retract, up, elbow down, and down. That's 2. Externally rotate, retract, elbow down, fist down. 3, we got 2 more here. Tuck that tailbone, externally rotate, retract, elbow down, face down. Last one here. Lift off that block. Retract the shoulder blade. Elbow down, face down, and we'll switch sides. So it's 5 external rotation with retraction, and then we'll do 5 on the other side before we get back into some swimmers here. So I have my fist on the block, elbow straight up with my shoulder, elbow bent at 90, face down. From here, and we'll go into tailbone tuck, external, retract. Try to drive that fist forearm and elbow up to the ceiling as much as you can. Fight for more. Down, down. Elbow down, fist up. Everything up together, parallel on the floor. Keep fighting for more. Down, 2. Externally rotate. Up. Down, down, 3. 2 more here. Externally rotate, retract, squeeze, elbow, fist. Last one here, so we're going to externally rotate, retract, fight for more, fight for more, fight for more. Elbow, fist comes down, that's 5 reps there. Good, you can shake the shoulders out. A little bit of a break, because we're going to go into our next component of the swimmer hover breakdown that we're going to do. So we did from here to here, right? So now we're going to go here to here, all the way back up to the Y. We got 5 reps there, okay? So make sure you're in a good position, body's tight, ribs are down. We're going to start. We're going to start with a normal rep, and we'll go to the Y, and then we're going to go, okay? So we're here, ribs are down, core is tight, elbows up. Hands up, Y, and now from here, swim it down, palms are up, swim it back up, palms are down, there's 1, we got 4 more, back, palms are up, back to the start, palms are down, 2, fight it. Fight for more, keep trying to get higher with those hands. Back up. 3, always try to get higher. Full time, squeeze those shoulder blades, rotate those shoulders. Back side of those shoulders should be tired by now. Almost there. 4, last one. Get to the top here. Fight for more, an extension, retraction. Last one. Up, down, and relax. Very good. We got one more component of the shoulder for the swimmers to break down, which will just be our extension to technically internal rotation, but we're just continuing to break down the rest of the swimmers here. So we'll go 5 reps from there to here. So here, after the 5th rep, all the way back up to the top. Call it a day. So from there, we make sure that I'm getting good shoulder blade extension, or good shoulder blade retraction and shoulder extension as I get in this position here. So down, tailbone's tucked, extension here, tuck that tailbone, bend those elbows, don't touch down. 1, 2, bend those elbows together, back up. 3, we got 2 more here, squeeze those shoulder blades, fight for more. Last 2 reps, keep fighting for more space here. Back up, 4, last one, we're gonna bend those elbows, hands together behind the back, extend those elbows, and then we'll slowly swim it all the way back up. Get to your Y, bend the elbows, and relax. Woo! Again, that was a burner of a session, I should say, today. So that was shoulder external rotation and scapular motion kind of coupled together. Like we said at the start of class, Although we do want them to function well on their own, we also want them to function well together. So that's kind of like the purpose of today's class. Thank you for sticking it out with me. Backside of those shoulders should be nice and tired. Again, practice those cars, practice those swimmers. The more you do them, the better they'll feel, the better you'll get, the better you'll perform in everything that you do. So again, thank you for joining me in today's class. I hope to see you at the next one.